What is up, guys? Professional fitness life coach JT Tapias with the Empty Your Bucket Nutrition Plan. And today we're going to speak about honing in discipline. That's right, creating exercises that can teach you how to be disciplined, because the truth is that we believe that some people are and some people aren't disciplined. And I don't believe that. If you watch my videos before, you will hear me say over and over again that I truly believe it is just a set of rules, a blueprint, a sequence that you can follow that can make you disciplined. And if you're disciplined, that's so hard, that's such a hard word, that thing that so many of us struggle with. I truly believe that when you hone discipline in, you can bring your wildest dreams to fruition. And so I truly believe that one of the main reasons why people lack discipline is not because they're flawed, or not because of their background, or not because of the things that they have going on in their environment, but more importantly, because we're busy, we're stressed, we're tired. Maybe we've tried things and we've failed, and there's a lack of energy in regards to the things that we want to do, right? Not just physically, but mentally and maybe even spiritually. And what this causes is a lack of vision, right? We lose vision. If you think of the time when you were a kid, you were dreaming big and you were thinking about doing all of these things in the world. As a matter of fact, if you ask a kid, what do you want to do when you grow up? They most likely will tell you they want to be a doctor, they want to be a lawyer. They'll tell you all these things, and they have no boundaries, right? Because they haven't encountered resistance yet. As adults, as we encounter this resistance, we tend to retract, and we tend to actually move away from our goals because we want to be realistic, right? We just have to make a living. We got to get to that thing that's going to pay the bills. And by all means, I understand that. But the truth is that we lose vision, and when we lose vision, we lose that clarity, that power, that direction, and that life vision that actually energizes us so that we can do the things that we want to do. And so I'm here to talk to you about how to regain that energy back, how to actually hone in, and how to make discipline and exercise that you can practice every single day, so that then when you approach life, and then when you have your plans, and when that vision comes back, you know how to execute on it without missing a step, okay? So I truly believe that you need to have a vision. You need to create a vision for your life. I have this thing called my life book, where I basically write down all the different areas, all the things that I want to conquer, and how I want to show up specifically in those areas, right? So a vision will make you a force to be reckoned with, right? And here's why. It keeps you from drifting, right? The world is constantly pulling you in different directions. So you may start off thinking, well, I want to be a computer engineer, right? And as you encounter that particular degree, as you start going to class, you encounter your professors, you start feeling some friction. Maybe you take some exams. Maybe those exams don't go so well, and you start to retract and think, well, maybe I should go do something different. Maybe I'm better at this. And by all means, I think that in many cases, people have gone into certain degrees, certain education, and they realize halfway through that they actually like something else more. And that's okay, as long as that other vision is empowering, and you're not just retracting simply because you encountered failure. You see, there's a big difference there. If you go into something and you realize, you know what? I went into computer engineering, but I realized I'm really, really good at design. Then great, you just encountered an exciting vision, and you can go do that. But if you're retracting simply because you're encountering friction, all you're doing is you're actually listening to your brain that's trying to protect you from anything painful, right? And you don't want to do that. We want to press in the direction of sometimes those challenging things, because that's really where the breakthroughs come through, right? So more importantly, you want to make sure that you have this vision so you're not constantly drifting. And then once you have this vision, you can channel all of your energy in that direction, and no matter what comes your way, you just continue to move forward, even if you have all the friction and all the challenges that will come up in the direction of that particular dream, that endeavor. And so having that vision, writing that vision out, specifically what it is that I want. Now, for many of us in our 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, it's hard to sort of connect with that vision, right? It's hard because life is busy, because we're stressed. So then the question is, well, how do we create a life vision when we are so blurry, right? When we can't really see because we're so busy trying to make ends meet and trying to do all these things that being an adult requires us to do? That's a great question. And I want you to think about this, right? I really, really want you to take your time with this. I want you to think of your childhood abilities, the things that you were really good at when you were a kid. Think of those childhood dreams, those things that you had as a kid that you would dream about and you were good at, and it just energized you and made you so happy as a kid. You know, in particular for me, it was martial arts. I was born in the late 70s, 1978. And so the 80s, martial arts were huge and there were movies everywhere. And my mom paid for me to go to, martial arts classes. And I was all into that. And that really honed in my ability, my athletic abilities, right? And I went into martial arts, and then that sort of translated into soccer, and then I made a huge thing out of that. I went and played competitive soccer, and then from there, when that career ended, I didn't retract because the career ended and it got difficult. What I actually did is I took the talents, the abilities, and the things that I had learned in that career, and I made another career in the area of fitness and nutrition. So you see how you can sort of change directions as long as you're not retracting, but you're actually taking your abilities, your talents, and your lessons, and you're actually utilizing them. And so remember, I want you to remember your childhood abilities, your childhood dreams, and more importantly, now as an adult, I want you to think of the things that people come to you for. Either things that people give you money for and say, hey, in exchange for this ability, I'm going to pay you this much. Or maybe you are the person that everyone calls when things are breaking down, right? Things are getting difficult. Everyone wants to call you, and you just give great advice, or you have great clarity, or you have the ability to strategize, right? I want you to think of those abilities. And then once you have that, I want you to take the limits completely off, right? And so for example, if you are a person that can strategize, organize, maybe you have the ability to actually create a business where you're organizing, you're helping people get organized, right? You're helping people strategize. That can be their life, that can be their closet, that can be their pantry, right? But you can make an actual business out of this. You can actually be empowered by the ability to help people just get organized, right? Or maybe you have the ability to be compassionate, and you're motivating, and speaking to you encourages people. You have that gift of encouragement, right? So maybe you can actually go back to school and become a counselor or become a coach, right? You want to make sure that you go back to these childhood abilities, to the things that you know deep down in your core that you're really, really good at. Now, I'm going to make a 360 shift and say, well, why have this life vision if what I'm trying to do is lose weight? JT, I come to you for weight loss advice. I come to you to get in the best shape of my life, but you're talking to me about this life vision thing that has to do with more with my career and who I want to be. And the reason I go there is because oftentimes when people come onto our programs and they're looking to lose weight or they're looking to get in shape, there's always something that holds them back. They come in with the best intentions. They want to lose the weight. They want to get in tip-top shape, but they have no energy whatsoever. And so this is where I'll make my turn and say that success is contagious. If we are winning in one area of life, it's very easy to translate that into another area of life, simply because success breeds success, because success leaves clues, and because success is energizing, okay? So oftentimes you'll see that people that are winning in different areas of life all of a sudden come into a fitness and nutrition program and just excel. And you're like, how did that happen? That person makes everything work. Everything goes well for that person. Sure, because they're energized over here. So in order for you to make this happen, you have to find energy, right? And that energy comes from that creative aspect, from that vision, from that clarity, from that ability to think about the future and see a compelling future for yourself. And when you get energized, now you can succeed here. So remember that success breeds success, success leaves clues, and success is energizing. So we got to win in one area and then translate that to another area. Now, everything I said here is challenging, and I just want to recap by saying this. I want you to sit down with a piece of paper and a pen, and I want you to write down your childhood abilities, your childhood dreams, and then what you know for sure without a shadow of a doubt, what you are great at, okay? And then I want you to create a life vision so that you can start winning here. Maybe you can start a business. Maybe you can change careers. Maybe you need to do something different or travel or be inspired and get that energy so that then you can translate it over to this side and become super powerful and energized. And when you encounter a nutrition and fitness journey, you will just excel because you have that energy that's coming from winning here. So remember, take a piece of paper, write everything out, take the limits off. One of the best ways, my friend, to do this is by hiring a coach, but I understand that oftentimes that is not the possibility right now, or something that's going on and you need to wait to do that. I wouldn't wait, okay? If you can't hire the coach, sit down by yourself, maybe find a friend, a family member, someone you love, someone you trust to help you in this journey, and start writing these things down, and let's make a plan so that when you start trying to lose the weight, when you start looking to maybe be consistent with your exercise, you have the energy that's coming and that's fueling you from this area, and you're bringing it into this area, and you're going to succeed in an incredible way. My friend, if you enjoyed this video, you're absolutely going to love this video here. Check it out. JT Tapias, professional fitness life coach with the Empty Your Bucket Nutrition Plan. Today, we talked about exercises that are going to help you hone in discipline and help you succeed in all areas of your life. I hope you enjoyed that. I'll talk to you guys soon. Ciao, ciao.